The top 3 LGBTQ+ leaders in the Stonewall Rebellion. The Stonewall Rebellion was a series of spontaneous protests and riots by members of the LGBTQ+ community, in response to a police raid on the Stonewall Inn, a gay bar in New York City. The riots began on June 28, 1969, and lasted for several days. They are widely considered to be the catalyst for the gay rights movement in the United States. Prior to the rebellion, gay bars were often raided by police, and their patrons were subject to arrest and harassment. The Stonewall Inn was a safe space for members of the LGBTQ+ community to congregate, and to be themselves, without fear of discrimination or violence. The raid on the inn sparked a sense of unity and solidarity among LGBTQ+ people, who had had enough of being treated as second-class citizens. The Stonewall Rebellion is an important moment in history, because it showed that LGBTQ+ people were willing to fight for their rights, and it helped to pave the way for future progress. Here are our top 3 LGBTQ+ leaders in the Stonewall Rebellion. Stormy DeLarverie is an important figure from the Stonewall Rebellion. Stormy was known as the butch lesbian, and was well known in the New York City LGBTQ community. On the night of the rebellion, she was working as a bouncer at the Stonewall Inn, when the police raided the bar. Stormy fought back against the officers, and is credited with inspiring others to do the same. After Stonewall, she continued to fight for LGBTQ rights, and served as an important mentor to younger members of the community. Sylvia Rivera was a Latina American transgender activist and drag queen. She was an outspoken advocate for transgender rights and gender nonconformity, and played a significant role in the Stonewall riots. After being kicked out of her home by her parents at the age of 11, Sylvia began living on the streets and turned to prostitution to survive. It was during this time that she first became involved in the drag scene. In 1969, she participated in the Stonewall riots, demonstrating against police brutality towards members of the LGBTQ community. In the years that followed, Sylvia continued to fight for equality, co-founding Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, STAR, an organization that provided housing and support for homeless LGBTQ youth. She remained active in the civil rights movement until her death in 2002. Sylvia Rivera was a brave and tireless advocate for equality, who helped to pave the way for future generations of transgender people. Marsha P. Johnson was an African-American trans woman and drag queen, who was an outspoken advocate for the LGBTQ+ community. She was one of the leading figures in the Stonewall riots in New York City. Johnson was also a founding member of the Gay Liberation Front, and the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries. After her death in 1992, she was posthumously inducted into the National LGBTQ+ Hall of Fame. Today, she is remembered as a pioneer of the LGBTQ+ rights movement. Marsha, Sylvia and Stormy are 3 of the most widely known figures from the Stonewall Rebellion. They were unapologetic about their identities and dedicated their lives to fighting for the rights of all LGBTQ+ people. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and comment.